Alright, how we doing, folks? Yo, Bo Marcus 1225 numbers after the name games beating action over here, man. Cuphead DLC, final piece that we're gonna put over here on the channel. Final boss of the DLC, which went by rather quick. Now it's $8, so you know, and it's difficult to really judge Cuphead because of how much work goes into it. I mean, we saw like the initial game came out, I got delayed multiple times, it took so long, and to be able to like pull this off and make this game run as smooth as it does, look like it does, it's a work of art, man. It's simple in what it is, right? It's a bunch of boss fights and platforming stages that kind of, you know, in the DLC, there's kind of these stages, and I didn't even put them on the channel. I didn't do most of them, honestly, but there's some kind of parry-heavy mini-boss type things, for lack of a better word. So, you know, it's simple in what it does, but when you look at everything that is happening on it, it's really cool watching the video back, because when you're playing, you don't really fixate or see too many things. You're kind of just looking at what's around you and making sure you don't get hit from side to side. But when you get an opportunity to kind of sit back and just watch everything going on in the game, you're like, damn, like these boys weren't playing around, man. This is a lot of detail over here, hand drawn. You have the stylized gameplay. I can't say enough of how good this game is. If you buy the game, the DLC is basically just 5-6 more bosses added onto it. It's worth it. It's $8 too. I remember when it came out, so it was $8. Like, $8, okay. I feel like the DLC maybe is a little bit easier than Cuphead, but I don't know if this is a Dark Souls situation where, you know, the hardest Dark Souls game you play will always be like the first Dark Souls game you play. So I don't know if that necessarily is how like Cuphead's playing over here, whereas maybe if I hadn't played Cuphead before, this would be a lot harder than it is. I almost imagine it is. It also adds a whole new character to the mix. I didn't really play as her. Honestly, I just kind of kept with Cuphead. But she has a whole different moveset, whole different rules that to play by. You have to use a charm to use her, so that kind of limits you in what you can do. But you also get a lot of abilities of what she can do, and it just presents a different way. And I imagine one day, you know, years from now, when I go back to playing Cuphead, I don't know if there'll be a Cuphead 2, honestly, I will probably play as that character, and that way, like, I get a whole new experience while still playing the same game, which is really cool to do, and fundamentally kind of change how the game plays. I wasn't sure if this was over here, so I kept going on these platforms. It was like, the least thing I wanted to do was beat the thing and then die, because I, like, fell off the damn thing at the end over there. So, Cuphead, man, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but to me, it is a work of art. And I'm almost curious to pick it up on the Switch. I think it'd be a good Switch game.